We're back here on HQ Spotlight, where we're in for a pivotal game Saturday from Raymond James Stadium, where the Carolina Panthers are eyeing their first division title since 2015. But first, they have to get through a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has worn that division crown 4 consecutive years. Here are the scenarios. Carolina can clinch the NFC South with a win or tie. They can also clinch the NFC South with a loss and an Atlanta win. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, will clinch the NFC South title with a win and an Atlanta loss. That's what has to happen there. The opportunity in front of this Carolina team is not lost on Panthers head coach Dave Canales.
It's really important that we feel confident about our football right now, and we've played a lot of ball, and we've become a version of Panthers football that I'm really proud of, and the goal is for all phases to play on all cylinders, and that's what we're out for. We're out for that complete game. Does it mean it's going to be perfect? No, but you can tell when each group is really just playing fast, playing with confidence, and that's the goal. That's the goal. Is we got this opportunity to do that right now, and my general feel for the group is there's a real focus. There's an excitement and for where we are. There's an excitement for this opportunity. And then there's also this focus for what's in front of us in this moment. And the greatest thing we can do is treat it like every other game. It's a championship opportunity. Let's go right back to that approach. We don't need to do anything special. We just got to make our plays when they come to us.
Those Carolina boys are locked in, it sounds like it, for much more on what to expect in this pivotal Week 18 matchup with the NFC South title up for grabs. We say hello to our own Ryan Wilson and J.P. Acosta. Guys, great to see you. As we just heard, huge opportunity for Carolina. The Panthers with a chance at the division title for the first time since 2015. Ryan, what's got to go right for them to get it done?
Yeah, this is going to be cliche, but you just have to avoid the mistakes that have more often than the Panthers. Tampa Bay has caused them to slip down the stretch here with the turnovers and the ill-timed plays, mostly from their quarterback in Baker Mayfield. But when you talk about the Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young continues to do a better job of being done what's asked of him. I think Dave Canales has continued to start to trust him more and more. Going back to the start of the 2024 season, he benched Bryce Young 2 weeks into that season. Bryce got an opportunity late last year, took advantage of it, and he's continued to grow in that role. They signed some offensive linemen to help there. The running game has gotten better with Rico Dowdle, and of course Ted McMillan is making his case with Emeka Egbuka to be the best offensive rookie in this draft class. So I think all those things together have made them the team they are. What's interesting is that going back to Week 7, they have won a game, lost a game every single week up until the present, and they're due a win. And when you look at the Buccaneers over that same stretch, they're 2-8, and I think that's what gives you sort of a brief capsule of where these two teams are going and potentially where they're headed.
I think for the Panthers, especially when it comes to Dave Canales and the trust that he has in Bryce Young, I think it's really going to have to pay off in high leverage situations. So the last time the Bucs and the Panthers played on 3rd and 4th down, Bryce Young went 6 for 9 with 77 yards and a .45 EPA per drop back. He was moving the ball on those high leverage, those 3rd down, 4th down situations. That's where the Panthers want to win. They want to minimize games, they want to control the football, and they want to use their quarterback to be a playmaker when they need him the most. In this game, in a winner-take-all scenario, they're going to need Bryce Young to be that incredible, that #1 pick guy that he was supposed to be coming out of Alabama, especially on 3rd and 4th down where the Bucs pass defense hasn't really been that great this season.
It's not going to be easy. Plenty of guys will have to step up, as you just mentioned, J.P., Bryce Young, of course. But you're also calling on the rookie, Tetairoa McMillan, to have a huge impact for Carolina in this one. Why?
Well, last time these two teams played, Tetairoa McMillan had 6 catches on 10 targets, 73 yards and a touchdown. Without Jamel Dean, who was ruled out of this game, I think the Bucs secondary has been dealing with a lot of injuries. They're going to come in really weak at the cornerback spot. He has been the guy that Bryce Young trusts the most. When they go to a lot of their 3-by-1 sets, Tetairoa McMillan is on the backside of those plays, and he's just going to throw it up to #4, and he's going to go make a play happen. I think if the Panthers want to win the division on Saturday, they're going to have to get McMillan going early, get him going often, and really attack the weak points of this Bucs secondary.
And JP, I'm going to piggyback off what you said earlier. I'm going to go back to Bryce Young because we talked about what a slow, sluggish start he got to his career in 2023. We were all wondering where he was going to be after he was benched last year, and all he's done is taken advantage of opportunities. Is he the perfect player? No. He still makes mistakes. He still holds the ball too long, but he's one of the best anticipation throwers in the league. I think Tet and getting Xavier Legette and getting JT Sanders more involved is a big part of that. I also think he's going to have an opportunity to win with his legs. He's a better athlete than perhaps we give him credit for. more, and there will be chances for him to win. And what he does well that some other quarterbacks like Jay Jackson Dart don't, he will get down or get out of bounds, and I think that helps keep him on the field, number one, and also extend those drives.
No shortage of storylines, y'all, ahead of this game, that's for sure. For Tampa, which storyline has your attention, Ryan?
I'm going to take this down the road of sentimentality here. I'm going to go with potentially Mike Evans, Levante David playing their last game for Tampa Bay. They're the last two remnants, the last two holdouts, if you will, from the Tom Brady Super Bowl team from a few years ago. We know that Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Famer, 11 consecutive seasons with at least 1,000 receiving yards, has over 13,000 receiving yards for the same team, which is in the same conversation as Marvin Harrison Sr. And I think he's sort of in that same breath in terms of what he brings. Levante David has been the heart and soul of that defense going back to 2012. And there are going to be a lot of changes this offseason. I think that the second level linebacker position could be one of them for sure. And the team could also be looking for a wide receiver if Mike Evans decides to hang it up, even though they drafted Emeka Egbuka in the first round last April.
I think for me, when it comes to Bucs storylines in this game, I got to go back to the quarterback spot in Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield this season has given us two types of quarterback play. One has been the swashbuckling MVP candidate from the first 6 weeks of the season. But this Baker Mayfield we've seen, I say he has the zoomies. He's playing a little bit tight. He's playing a little bit out of control. And I just think he doesn't trust his offensive line or his receivers very much. I think there's a lot of points where his accuracy is dipped. His on-target rate has gone down so much since the beginning of the season. And you can see that he doesn't trust what's being put out in front of him. In this game, to win the division, he's going to have to play a lot more composed and really trust his receivers and trust his playmakers around him, because that's when Baker Mayfield is his best. It's not when he's trying to create something out of nothing. It's not when he has to carry the offense by himself. It's when he's able to get Mike Evans going. You are able to get Bucky Irving going in space. You're able to get guys like Cade Otton, Emeka Egbuka, get Chris Godwin going in the receiving game. Just be the efficient point guard that's able to make plays when he's needed, instead of playing with the zoomies.
The zoomies. I'm writing that one down. I will be stealing that. I know you already did, Ryan Wilson, as well. We went ahead and mentioned who will have to have an impact for Carolina in this one. On the flip side, though, for Tampa, who is that for you, Ryan?
Yeah, I did steal it. Zoomies Mayfield is how I will now refer to Baker going forward. By the way, JP, and you probably know this, the first 6 games, Baker was 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. Last 10 games, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So to help Baker out, let's get Bucky Irving more involved. He has only averaged 3.5 yards per carry since coming back from that injury in Week 13. So that's not been great, but what has been encouraging, at least, the last time these two teams met a few weeks ago, he rushed for 71 yards, only 3.7 yards per carry. But the issue is that the Panthers' run defense isn't elite. It's bottom half. So if you can get that run game going, take some of the pressure off Baker to try to do too much, which is all he seems to have tried to do the second half of this season when they've been 2-8 in the last 10 games. I think Bucky Irving in this run game go a long way in helping keeping Tampa Bay in this game and a chance to win a game that many of us thought was going to be a foregone conclusion a month or so ago.
I'm going to flip it to the other side of the ball. I'm going with Levante David. It has been the year of the Unk in the NFL. Levante David is among the Unks still standing in the NFL, but Levante David has to have a great game in the middle of that defense. The Buccaneers linebackers this season have given up 10 touchdowns in pass coverage. That is the second most in the NFL behind the Cincinnati Bengals. They have not been very good in space, and I think that's something that the Panthers are going to try and exploit with Rico Dowdle, with guys like Chuba Hubbard. I think you're going to try and get JT Sanders in space against these linebackers. Levante David's going to have to turn back the clock, give us a really special performance in what could be his last home game as a Buccaneer. So if the Bucs want to make the playoffs, I think it's going to have to be on the backs of Levante David and their stars making impacts on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, we'll see if he potentially goes out with a bang. That would be awesome. JP, let's get your game prediction.
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I actually think that I trust this offense a little bit more, especially with Zoomies Mayfield, like we've talked about. If Baker Mayfield comes out a little tight, not trusting his receivers, I think I'm going to go with the Panthers. They have an identity through their ground game, through Bryce Young making plays, and I just think the Bucs are a little too injured in the secondary. I really think Tedderone McMillan and Jalen Coker have big games, and the Panthers win the division.
Yeah, I'm with you, JP. Also, producer James, Panthers fans, has informed me that I have to say Carolina as well. But as a Carolina native, I'm happy to support Bryce Young and crew. I'm actually at the point, and this sounds crazy to say, I trust Dave Canales more than I trust Todd Bowles. If I said that in August, you might have thought I was crazy, but that's where we are. And I believe Dave Canales has his team believing as well. It starts with Bryce, but I think that defense is going to make some plays as well. I think Carolina's going to win, Jordan.
Okay, I might be taking that plus money line for the Carolina Panthers. Sounds good to me, guys. I love the confidence. Always great to see you. Stay put, because much more from you guys on the other side. Get more Week 18 previews right now on the Pushing the Pile podcast. The guys have you covered. Scan that QR code on your screen and watch and listen wherever you get your podcasts.